Anyways, I've decided to try something today a little less painful than Chaos Edition, because God knows I need a break from that shit. So, just slay the Spire today, and I'm just gonna try a nice, easy, simple run of this. Just play the game. You know how it goes. For those of you who don't know, this is a bit of an interesting game, really. It's a roguelike mixed with a deck builder, basically. And we're playing the Defect, which is an even extra layer of just random stuff out on top of it, because he's got little orbs he needs to manage, which are like little different elemental based attacks, which I'll get to explain in a moment. But yeah, everyone's randomized. There's like 3 floors. It's a pretty hard game, so I'm not going to try any of the extra harder shit, just a normal run. And I already don't like the starting relic options mostly, because I don't want a random card, and I just don't like these two, honestly. If you're curious why, it's just... Anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted by a train deciding to blare its horn 40 times in the background, as I was saying, I don't really like getting the random boss relic because it's for the core identity of the Defect. I don't have any orbs to start with, unless I somehow by chance get the frost one, and that's just, I don't like it, and I like my gold. This one's just safer, honestly. I might get a rare relic that I just don't want, and then I give up my gold. Yeah, sure, I could get a strong relic, but then I just might get something bad, so. And these are already helpful. I heal whenever I go to a shop, so I might not even have to take a rest. I might not have to heal at this point. And to start off, as you can see, we have a map that you can freely look around all the way up to the boss. And this is an interesting one I'll explain when we get to him. But you just pick the safest route for you, honestly. For like a good balance of elites, personally, because they're the main way you're gonna get relics. So find them. It's early on, taking some of them is pretty damn good. Anyways, these are lice, and they're simple monsters. Don't worry about them. They'll block the first time in a combat you hit them. It's whatever, really. Just take care of them before they can slow you, what that one was about to do, and you're fine. I don't really want any of these cards. I'm gonna go with Beam Cell because I don't know if I need energy right now, and my deck's so small that Void could be really bad. And Claws aren't good until you get a couple of them, so this is just a safer bet. I'm gonna take the store, see if I can get a good card early on. I'm gonna take Doom and Gloom because I love Dark Orbs on the Defect a lot lately. I will explain the orbs more in depth when we get to the next boss. When we get to the next combat, anyways. And this is a random event you can get. There's a bunch of them in the question mark rooms on the map. I don't particularly... Sorry, my phone was reading. What the... Alright, this time I was interrupted by a robocaller. Where was I? I was talking about the offense, yes. On the map, you can see these question mark rooms. They're just random things that pop up. Sometimes you get offense, and this is one of them. If you take the idol, it'll give you 25% more gold. That's pretty nice, but having one of these penalties, I'll just take damage since I heal when I go to a shop. And so if I'm in a bad spot, I can just take the shop here. It's no concern. Anyways, we'll just go here. And for the orbs, yes. So the Defect has 4 orbs. I only have 2 of them in my deck right now. The Dark Orb and the Lightning. The Lightning just deals 3 damage whenever you enter a turn per orb. As you can see, it says Evoke, and to Evoke an orb, you either have to use something that specifically says that Evoke the orb, like you'll cast Or you just need to fill up your orbs and then it'll just push it off the side and it'll refoc it that way. Dark orbs work a little different. They are also damage, but they build up damage every turn before efoc can get to just burst down an enemy. They're really good for taking down big targets, and I like them a lot for that. So I think, if possible, I'm going to try to build my deck around that. The Defect doesn't have a lot of attacks I really like unless I can get some claw cards going, so I'm not going to worry too much about using the vulnerable. I've already taken 2 attack cards, so I'm low in defense, so I'll take Charged Battery. You're free to take whatever you want, but those are just my general suggestions. Every run's going to be different, so you can't get the perfect build every time. You just have to make do with what you get. I'm going to go to the shop because my relic will heal me, even if I can't buy anything. And that's sad, because I would have really loved to pick up a Seek, but whatever, I'm gonna just leave, get to the smith. I'm gonna actually try to, upgrade something. Have 2 choices, really, to upgrade here. We have Zap or Dual Cast. I personally would go for the Zap on the Defect. You want to get these 2 cards upgraded ASAP. You can do either one, but I prefer Zap because it's just free damage. As you can see, it becomes a 0 cost. And we'll fight our first elite. These are simple one enough. Me and Doom and Gloom, which will make it really easy, because we can hit all of them. Basically, they have the artifact buff, which just means your first debuff doesn't do anything to them. And they'll alternate between the outer 2 and the inner one, giving you a debuff that's just a dead draw for that turn. Then it goes away. They're probably in my opinion, the easiest Act 1 elite. Just so long as you have a way to deal with multiple targets, they're super easy. As you can see, the vulnerable did not apply because it had artifact. Anyways, we'll just block, and I'm just going to build this up enough so that when I dual cast, it'll kill 2 of them, and then we'll be fine. Okay, well, we have dual cast, so I'll just do it now. I'll kill this one and almost this one. And then finish him off a strike, and yeah, that's just how you deal with them. Just find a way to, if you can take out 2 of them at once, you're pretty much fine. So long as your deck's not really slow, they're not concerned. There's no, I'd say just taking an elite so long as you're over half HP in the first act is just always your best bet. Unless you have like somehow an awful deck. I don't want to take any extra cards because I don't want to make my deck any bigger than it needs to be right now. On the map, I don't see a shop coming up. It's possible I could get one from the question mark room, but I'm not concerned, so I'm not going to take the damage. I'm just going to give up the gold. Free relic. Every time you see a chest on the map, it's one of those. And since I want darkness to build up, I will set Bottled Flame. I'll give you a second to read that. As you can see, you start each combat with the chosen attack card in your hand, which will be Doom and Gloom for me. Rest site, I'm just gonna smith, dual cast. Yeah, you get the, this is generally how I play Defect. I just try to get those cards upgraded ASAP. And I'm not concerned about going for this boss with full HP, which I'll explain when we get to him. Normally, I would try to get full HP before him. Another event, risk of taking damage, free relic. And we're getting lucky with our offense. I'm just gonna take more max HP because I don't want to heal before this boss. I played that wrong. I just didn't pay attention. I should have played this first and I would have killed him. I'll just block and hope his lightning kills him. Okay. They just hit random targets, so... Anyways, unless I see a new mechanic or interesting thing pop up, I'll just jump to the boss and explain him to y'all. Anyways, we're back. Nothing interesting, shut up. No offense, no new enemies. I picked up these 2 cards to go with my... Since I'm already focusing on dark orbs, I figured I should just focus on orbs and hope I can get some focus later on, which will buff my orbs. And anyways, for this boss, it's not really listed anywhere in game anyways, but he's a Hexaghost, and his starting attack will do more damage the more HP you have, so if you just don't go to him at full HP, he'll do less damage. He's, as far as I know, he's the only boss like that in the game, so I'd never go to him full HP. I just always use that last rest site to upgrade something. As you saw, I hit him with that vulnerable earlier, so he will take a lot of damage. He'll take a lot of damage actually, because he'll hit twice for like 10. Yeah. And now my goal is to just survive long enough that I build this up, dual cast it, and kill him. So I'm not gonna try and get rid of this orb, I'm just gonna let it stack up. I'm just gonna damage him with beam cell and attacks. And then some chip damage from the lightning, really. He's got this effect where he will attack you, and you get this kind of burn card. You can't play the card, and if you don't block, it just deals 2 damage to you at the end of your turn, so just add that damage to his attack, you're fine. The big issue you need to worry about is when all of these are lit up, he'll do his big attack from the start again. I doubt he'll make it that far because he's already close to dying. I'm just gonna dual cast the darkness now, and he's almost dead. Yeah, he should be dead in a turn or two. He won't get his big thing off on me. A more straightforward boss. Just make sure you kill him before he can go through his big attack a couple times, or he'll wipe you out. All the Act 1 bosses are pretty straightforward. And once you beat the boss, you get to pick from 1 of 3 guaranteed rare cards. As you can see, the gold banner means they're rare. And in this specific situation, I'd go for Thunderstrike or Electrodynamics. Probably Electrodynamics, because I want my main damage to be from darkness. This will just make it easier to burn down enemies, since lightning will now hit all enemies instead of a random enemy. So, as you see, darkness will just hit. I can't actually highlight darkness. No, there we go, yeah. Just read the effect on dark. Increases damage every turn, and when revoked, deals damage to the enemy with the least HP. So I'll just lower the HP of all the enemies and just make it easier to basically execute them. If that explanation makes sense. My logic might be a little flawed there, but still, it makes my goal easier. Plus it means I can do more damage while defending. Since it's a power card, that means that effect will stay for the rest of combat. And energy's nice, but I think I want Runic Pyramid just so I can save up my block cards for whenever I get big attack. That relic makes it so that you do not discard with this relic. It's one of my favorite ones. You do not get rid of your hand when you're in a fight. Like, when you end your turn, your hand stays, and that's pretty damn good, yeah. There are a few enemies that'll fuck you over, and I pray we do not get them. But, for the sake of content, I'll show you when we get to it, and God will I hate my life. New enemy, another straightforward one. He just basically attacks. He'll eventually hit you with big attack. But your main concern with him is that he has a debuff that when you do not attack, yeah, he has a debuff that if you play anything that's not an attack, he'll give you the same dead draws that those shapes earlier did. See, this next turn we'll get that defect. I'm gonna play Zap so I can get this in my rightmost orb slot so I can dual cast it in time. I was worried about killing him there because I do want the effect to go off so you can at least see it. And if you see, if I block here, this will be in my draw pile now. It's ethereal, which means it will just disappear at the end of the turn. So it doesn't stay in your hand for combat, it doesn't stay in your deck for combat, but it still is pretty bad when you draw it, because it's just a dead draw. You can't do anything with it. Looking at the map, there's no way to cut this. I have to fight an elite. That's it's pretty shitty, because if I get low HP, I'll just die. But I'm going to take this route. Because sure, I get more heals this way, but this is a tougher elite. And he's flaming because it means I've unlocked the 4th act, but to actually do so, I need to get these 3 keys. I'm keeping it simple today, since most beginners won't even have that unlocked unless they cheat it, so yeah, I'm just not going to bother with that today. Just know that if you have that on your map and you fight him, you're not going to be in for a good time. This is another event. I'm not gonna bother because we're already in a good place, and it's possible I could get a card that makes it's possible I could get a face that makes me weaker, and that's just it's not worth the trade-off. These are an annoying enemy, but we counter them pretty hard with electrodynamics. They're called birds, and they're flying. And it's really annoying because it means your attacks deal half damage unless you hit them 3 times in a row, and they'll be down for a couple turns. They will hit you for chip damage early on, like 1 damage 6 times, but it quickly ramps up, and they will kill you if you don't get rid of them quickly. But since we have electrodynamics, we hit all of them with our lightning, and it's not attack, so it's not halved. So they pretty much just eat shit and die. But if you don't have a good card to deal with them, they can be a run-ender sometimes, just right there. It's just a stat check, basically. Potions are good. I'm just gonna pick up a bunch. I'm gonna drink this right now because it just permanently increases my max HP. But don't sleep on your potions, man. They will help you. I've had so many runs that would have been lost if I did not have a potion. This is another enemy, Snake Plant. It's only found in Act 2. He's malleable, so he takes, starting at a base of 3, and then every time you hit him, it increases by 1. He will gain block every time you hit him, and it scales up. Pretty obnoxious. He'll just hit you big attacks and decays no debuffs. As you can see, my block is weakened and my attacks are weakened. Our main damage is going to come from darkness, and I'm pretty sure we just kill him next turn. No, we unfortunately were not lucky enough to get our dark orb. But he's dead for certain this time. I mean, we had our dark orb, we did not have dual cast, yeah. That's the main issue with this style of build, is that if you don't have a way to evoke your dark orb constantly, which is why I took recursion earlier, since it will evoke the dark orb and then bring it back with the damage built up still. So at this point, I just need to get rid of my attack card so I can just focus on basically this right here. And we are into our first Act 2 elite. They're harder, they still give you 1 relic. I'm just gonna Doom and Gloom and get rid of the ads really quick. Those are just simple gremlins. Like, they won't do anything, they just hit you. There's a few others that have other effects, but I'll point them out when we get them. You need to kill him to end the fight. You don't, even if these are alive, if he dies, fight's over. He's just gonna keep summoning more and more, in case he's making himself stronger. He has a higher chance of making himself stronger if you leave the gremlins alive, so get rid of those quickly if you can. As you can see here, he evokes but comes back with 12 damage instead of 6. And oh my, I should have explained the Frost Orb when I got the chance. I completely neglected to do that. I'm sorry. This is another orb type, and it just gives you block basically. Really good for our goal of defending. I just need a card that hopefully gets me focused, because then I can just rely on these alone. For now, we're just gonna focus on killing off the gremlins. Every time you hit them with an attack, they will gain 1 strength, meaning they'll do 1 more damage. So preferably hit them with something that either kills them or hit them with a damage from a skill, or in this case orbs. We get electrodynamics active now, meaning we'll strike all of them, so it doesn't matter. I probably misplayed that because I should have kept my dark orb, but we should be fine either way. Yeah, we're fine. He's just dead next turn, so we're good. Basic gremlin, he just hit you. Same gremlin earlier. No, nothing new. Just end the fight. I would like to keep going so I could show you the other gremlins, but I also don't want to risk dying. I'm sorry. Picked up a relic that just upgrades 2 random skill cards. Pretty nice one to have. Really good on the defect since you want to upgrade your base stack early. We've seen this guy already. He's just a normal enemy now. And this is an annoying enemy. He just blocks a lot. You can't hit him with debuffs until you break his artifact 3 times in a row. But he has almost no health. So if you manage to pick up Heater, which I'll show on screen, or Melter, my bad, excuse me, Melter, a defect only card, you can just break his block and instantly deal 10 damage. That's a pretty good card to have one of, even if you're not focusing on attacks, because it just instantly kills off these sorts of enemies that can really fuck over a slow deck. Because he'll start doing a decent amount of damage to you, so if you can't block it, he'll fuck your run up. Which is why I'm going to use my block. No, I don't need to use the block potion. I killed the shape. Man, I cannot math well. I thought that shape was going to live. But yeah, as you see, if I beam cell him, 2 artifact. He's not a fun enemy. So I'm just going to block while building up my Darkness Orb, yeah. This is the general theme of this build, just survive while building up darkness. I will dual cast it and he'll die. You know why I went silent there, right? I spam clicked and just picked up a card, not even paying attention. And it is not a good card for this deck. Oh my god! I am an idiot? I'm not gonna cheat it. I'm not gonna Alt F4 and go back, but that is not a good card for this deck, because that will, if I play, that's just useless for this deck, because I'm focusing on orbs. Focus increases the effectiveness of channeled orbs. Lose 1 focus. Fuck. I need to get rid, I guess my goal is to get rid of that card, then my attack, since that's just a useless card for me. I'm a fucking idiot. So don't do that mistake. Don't spam click. Back at rest site. As you can see, this is one of the keys I was talking about. I don't want to go to the 4th act. I'm already fucking up as is. I'm not going to live the 4th act at this point. It's so hard. I'm just going to rest. Get my HP back. That's decent if we could actually find a goddamn shop on this path. I think I'm just going to go this way and hope I can get a good couple random events going. If anything interesting pops up, or if I make any more stupid mistakes, I'll let you know. But until then, yeah, I'll just be back at the boss, guys, because I'm already annoyed with myself. And this is another random event, so I guess I'll show y'all this one also. You just spin the wheel and get around thing. This is a good one for us, because it means we get rid of that card that I stupidly added. And we're good. 2 new enemies. You can't encounter this one in the 1st act. He applies vulnerable after 2 turns and makes himself stronger. Much it. Pretty sure when you kill him, he also applies vulnerable to you as well, so. This is the Shelled Parasite, and it's another effect that's not listed, but when he hits you, he'll heal for some of the damage done. Also, he has plated armor, which at least is listed. Every time you break his block, this will decrease by 1, which means he'll start each turn with less block. He starts for however much plated armor he actually has. I'd say kill this one if you have block. If you don't have block, it's a tough one if you don't have a lot of block, honestly. Generally, I try to kill the fungi beast first, though. But you can be in a pretty bad situation where you don't kill the fungi beast first, or where you do kill the fungi beast first, and then he just does you a lot of damage. So, like, I'm better off blocking here, using all my energy on blocking rather than attacking, because as you can see, he's doing 27 damage now, because he applied Thornbow because I killed him. I take 50% more damage from attacks for 2 turns from that. But I have enough block that I feel confident enough in living it, since I have my block potion, but yeah, that's a pretty tough fight. If you don't have block, try and see if you can kill the shelled parasite first. Unless your deck's really slow, in which case you'll just get vulnerable a lot anyways. I don't like this fight because I like slower decks, and it really punishes slower decks. But yeah, just simple boss, just one simple enemy. Once the fungi beast is gone, you can just focus on him. Just block his damage, you'll be fine. Don't take any unnecessary risk in this game also. It's better to overblock than underblock because every single hit point matters in this game. I will use electrodynamics because I will evoke that, and I again have enough block. I'm gonna just cut to when this fight's over because with the deck I have going, it's gonna be a really slow ass fight. I don't want you sitting here for like 4 minutes while I deal 3 damage a turn. So this is the second boss. I skipped the previous fight because we've already seen it. It didn't go super well, but I rested at the heal site and picked another fruit juice thing, so I'm decent HP. I'm gonna abuse the fuck out my potions to live. Gonna get thorns, so when I'm hit I'll deal 3 damage. Essence, so give me 4 block, and this will buff my orbs. That should help a lot this fight because I'm in a pretty tight spot. I'm at like half HP against the collector, and I hate this enemy because he makes summons as well, like that gremlin leader, but they are tough summons. Oh god, don't even mess with them. I'm gonna pop electrodynamics right away because it's super good against the summons he'll make, because I'll be able to hit all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna save beam cell because I want to get rid of the summons early on actually. So beam cell, I picked this card up earlier. I should have probably mentioned it. Ball lightning. I'll channel lightning, which means I evoke that, and the first torch head's almost gone already. He's gone. We're good. I'm gonna block, dual cast, and so he'll be dead as well. I'll get 4 blocks, so I'm only taking like 7 damage this turn. You see, we've already lost 7, like, we're already like half HP on like the first round, so you can see why I spent all those potions. I have 1 left. This will double the next card I play, which I think I have an idea for that. Not sure though. I need to get Doom and Gloom going right now. And I'm just going to attack him. Pretty sure he's about to summon more because he just keeps repeating that. He will occasionally hex you and do a shit ton of debuffs to you. Hate him for that a lot. If you don't kill his torch heads, he will start buffing himself, doing a lot of damage. And you can see he's a pretty fucking tanky guy. 282 HP. Yeah. That is why I'm very glad I have electrodynamics, because I'll hit all of them. And again, why I drank that focus potion, because now they're doing 5 damage each instead of 3. Otherwise, it's no other mechanics I can really think of for this fight. He's going to curse me next round, so you'll see how that goes. I'm going to recurse and I'll get rid of 1 torch head. Strike. He should If I cool head, now he'll be dead for sure. And this gets my orb back over some. You obviously, once again, fight will end when you kill him. As you can see, he's about to block and buff. He will do that regularly anyways. But if you're not killing his summons, he'll start doing that and summoning more, and it's just a mess. Get rid of those things really if you can. Also, I should have probably mentioned this earlier. Does the audio sound a lot better? Because I actually have a proper mic this time. It's not... Doesn't sound like I'm fucking eating the mic from a cheap $20 headset anymore, does it? Oh, that sounds a lot better and less destroying your ears. He's about to do a lot of damage, so I'm just gonna block, honestly. I think we're fine though. This is building up nice and this is building up nice and good. I'm gonna get more block with this, and I'm just gonna try and get this back over. Once I get this dark orb over here, he's dead. Yeah, those potions did help a lot. I might have overdone it, but again, it is better to overdo in this game than underdo. Now, that doesn't mean waste all your resources if you don't have to, but play safe. Playing safe is rewarded a lot better than playing weak. Sadly, I cannot kill him this turn because, unfortunately, I kind of fucked up playing that other frost card. Getting rid of that other frost orb really fucked me because if I dual cast, I kill these ones, which I think I'm just gonna have to do. He'll be dead. Like, we're fine anyways, but we could have killed him sooner. It's whatever. Just recursion. He's dead, I'm pretty sure. Yep. As I said, this is really good. Dark Orb is really good against big targets, but if you have a lot of targets that... just a lot of targets in general, it's really bad. Which is why I picked up Electrodynamics early, because I have a way to deal damage to ads at least. But it's still not ideal. You're always going to have a situation that counters you, and you can't always build for it, so you want to leave your deck at least a little flexible. I'm very tempted to pick up Vision, but... I have a lot of cards, but if I upgrade Vision, it'll be good, otherwise it'll be pretty bad. I don't like these two relics, just right off the bat. What's it going to do for me? Most of my damage is ideally coming from darkness and lightning. From dark orbs and lightning orbs, so... This only buffs... This makes... Like, I don't use a lot of energy to do damage with that, right? So, but it will make me take more damage. I'm trying to survive for a long time. That's just bad. My deck's getting pretty big, and I need to get it smaller. So, extra energy, again, good. But non-boss chests are unavoidable, and the next act has 2 of them. So that's 2 extra cards that are going to be purely debuffs. No thank you. I'll just take Sacred Bark, double the effectiveness of my potions. I don't need to explain why that's good. And we are on to the final act if you're not doing Act 4. And... I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably the hardest counter I could get to my deck. Because it's 2 big enemies. And that's going to be rough. So, as you can see, we've already been in this game for 46 minutes. It'll always be shorter once I cut it down, but, do y'all really want to watch an hour-long video just to watch me probably get my ass handed at the end? I don't think you do. Plus, this act is, as you can see, a lot longer than the previous 2 acts, so I think we'll leave it here today, and I'll finish this up so y'all can watch me miserably lose to that boss, unless I somehow get lucky. Yeah, so, I'll leave it here today. Oh, actually, I should say before I go, if you have any requests for me to play any, like, stupid builds in here, suffer in the daily runs, or try the other characters out, do let me know, or if you want me to suffer and climb through Ascension mode, which is basically the same game, but it gets harder every time you win, we could try that out too. Just, yeah, leave a comment, let me know. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe or like, because that helps out tremendously. But, yeah, thanks for watching.